guys, welcome back to y'all here in this podcast version.
What's up?
Exactly. All of that.
I'm here for it.
I'm Kay. Thank you guys so much for coming back.
Yes, my name is Honeybee, or you can call me B.
A little B. Lowercase b today.
Oh, okay.
B.
Huh.
B.
Huh.
Oh, my lord. If you couldn't tell, it's the end of the day.
It is.
We're a little crazy.
Yeah.
It's all good. It's kind of like a bonus video, but bonus. I don't know. Anyway.
Yeah. Yes.
Anyway, guys, if this is your first time joining us and you're wondering what the heck the craziness is.
This is us. This is us on a regular. And if we are not like this, then, and you're not acting like this in the middle of a panoramic.
Yeah.
I don't know what to tell you.
I don't know. But we are a music appreciation podcast /
Yes, we
YouTube
are.
reaction channel here. And we do, every week we pick a theme. We each pick a song for that theme, react to those songs, and then we join us here on the podcast where we talk a little bit more about it. Who did what, where, when, why, how, all that good stuff.
All of it.
And just a little bit more about like what it means to us, why we picked up the theme, that sort of thing. And then, of course, we always end it in a say what? Say what?
Right? Wait, let me hit my Mariah note.
Right.
Try me.
I think your tea's done.
I beg your pardon. Not the tea. Where's Earl at? Earl Grey, come here. Talking all this mess. You done influenced Kay to come and get me.
That's right.
She got me by the neck, y'all. She said, your tea is done. I said, what? You can hear glass crashing.
Your tea is served, sir.
It's like every drag queen in the world just went, with their makeup. Have you ever seen that? Side note, do you know what movie I'm talking about? Kung Fu Hustle? She put her makeup on. She's like, do, 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 do.
Yep.
I'm dead.
I haven't watched that movie in ages. Oh my goodness.
Dead.
That's so fun.
You know, we got to support the classics.
That's absolutely classics. It's like 20 years old.
I know, right?
Shut your mouth, boy.
It's a classic, okay?
Yeah, no.
And speaking of classics and support.
Yes, I know.
There are so many ways, right? There's so many ways to support us, and you guys have been doing it.
Yes, thank you.
Incredibly, like seriously, we really love the fact that, you know, we are creating something that is helping you guys, you know, get through whatever and, you know, bring you closer to your love of music and doing the same for us. And, you know, it's just been a great journey so far, and we're going to keep going with it. And of all the ways that you can support us, definitely hit that link box below or description box below and hit the link inside the box.
Right.
And when you hit that link, it's going to bring you to a Patreon, which is amazing. We actually just filmed our second, Patreon poll of musical movie pick for September.
Oh no, that was August.
Oh, August.
Yeah.
See what I'm saying? I'm going ahead of myself. You know what I'm saying? Y'all know what we did.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe you don't yet, but you'll know if you're on Patreon.
Right. Hey. Yeah, if you go down and click it, you'll see it.
You know what I'm saying? But also you can go to our merch store, which is absolutely amazing. There's so many different products that you can buy. You know what I'm saying? If you want to walk around with our face on, you know what I'm saying? Put all this all up on your mouth or whatever.
Chest,
you know what I'm saying? Oh, on the biddies. On the treats.
That's right.
Everywhere. And then, of course, liking, subscribing, sharing has been absolutely amazing. We've passed the threshold of 100 followers and subscribers on YouTube, which has been amazing.
I know.
And you know, we just really appreciate all the love because it helps us be able to reach more people just like you.
Absolutely.
So thank you for that. But you know, now that we done got that through and all done, we need to talk about this week's theme because
so much
it was
fun.
A whole theme.
It was so much fun.
And I know Kay's itching to get into it.
I can't wait. So this week we talked about songs like Dancing in the Rain songs that, you know, remind you of the rain.
Yes.
Songs you want to go out and dance in the rain to.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, really anything. And yeah, we had some great choices, I think. So you should definitely go watch the reaction videos.
Yeah, you should.
Especially for Honeybees because...
Wait till you see that video. You just have to see the video just to know.
It's so joyful. It's such a good song. Anyway, but we're gonna go into my pick.
Oh, I wonder what did you pick, Kay?
What
did you pick?
I picked
Huh?
Led Zeppelin, When the Levee Breaks. Oh, I love this song so much. I love it. 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 I love it.
First experience with Led Zeppelin. Go.
I don't even remember. What made me think of like this song in particular is, I think I said this in the video too, but driving with my dad, he had this humongous truck, and I had heard like Led Zeppelin before. I'm sure I probably had even heard this song before, but for whatever reason, it just hit then. Like that nasty, bluesy, dirty rock. Throw some harmonica in there.
Yes.
You get some Page and Plant and Bonham. And anyway. Led Zeppelin, they're just so amazing. I love it. So yeah, so let's go into a little bit. So it was a 1929 blues song adapted by Led Zeppelin in 1971.
Wow.
It's a country blues song written and first recorded by Memphis Minnie and Kansas Joe McCoy in 1929. Wow. And the lyrics reflect experiences during the upheaval caused by the Great Mississippi Flood of 1927.
Go ahead. I'm sorry. I saw y'all. If y'all listening, I just stopped it for a second because I was like, I feel like shout out to one of our favorite podcasts, My Favorite Murder. Hey girls, Georgia and Karen. Hey y'all, we love y'all. Why do I feel like that was one of the stories that they talked about?
I don't know. I don't know that they've ever done
And
that.
if they haven't, y'all should.
Right.
Because that sounds really interesting. It's the
27, the Great Mississippi Flood of 1927.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, I can only imagine.
Wow.
So it was reworked by the English rock group Led Zeppelin as the last song on their untitled fourth album. People call it Zoso. So singer Robert Plant used many of the original lyrics, and the songwriting is credited to Memphis Minnie and the individual members of Led Zeppelin. But many other artists have also performed and recorded versions of the song. So, to the background of the song itself, when they first wrote it, the Great Mississippi Flood of 1927 was still fresh in people's memories. The flooding affected 26,000 square miles of the Mississippi Delta. Hundreds were killed, and hundreds of thousands of residents were forced to evacuate. It's the subject of several blues songs, including Backwater Blues by Bessie Smith and Mississippi Heavy Water Blues by Barbecue Bob. Oh, I love that name.
Barbecue Bob.
Hello.
I need a man like that.
So Ethel Douglas, Minnie's sister-in-law, recalled that Minnie was living with her family near Walls, Mississippi when the levee broke in 1927, and the song's lyrics recount the personal toll on a man who lost his home and family. Despite the tragedy, biographers also see it in it a statement of a rebirth, which I can see too. You know what? Like when
I actually could hear that too. Yeah. When
I heard about Hurricane Katrina, this is the song that I thought of. This is the song that I thought of immediately.
So funny story. When you said in the video that this is a song you picked, it's one of those. You know how words can trigger stuff? The second you said levees, the first thing that came to mind was Katrina.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
Which is like crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, what a... in so many ways, such a tragedy.
Yeah, that's... Woo-hoo,
I mean, still people living in FEMA trailers and things like that. It's crazy.
To this day.
Yeah.
Almost 20 years later.
It's crazy. Oh, yeah. So Columbia issued the song originally on the then standard 78 RPM phonograph record with That Will Be All Right, another vocal performance by McCoy on the flip side in August or June 1929. It was released before record industry publications such as Billboard began tracking so-called race records. But it has been called a moderate hit. When the Levee Breaks is included on several Memphis Minnie compilation albums and blues roots albums featuring various artists. So Led Zeppelin recorded when they were considering it. Singer Robert Plant suggested the song Jimmy Page commented that while Plant's lyrics identify with the original, he developed a new guitar riff that set it apart. However, it is John Bonham's drumming that's usually known as the defining characteristic of the song, which it totally is.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was going to say, like, I could totally hear that too. That's dope.
Yeah. So before the release version, they attempted the song twice. They recorded an early version in 1970. It was later released as If It Keeps On Raining on the 2015 reissue of Coda. And let's see. And John Paul Jones, that's who I was trying to remember the bassist name. Anyway, they based their guitar and bass lines on the original song. However, they didn't follow the exact structure of it.
They were probably just trying to switch it along.
Yeah.
For their own style.
Exactly.
Put their own flavor. I'm here for that.
He also added a harmonica part during mixing. A reverse echo effect was created.
Was it Stevie Wonder? Whatever. Trigger words. I hear harmonica, I automatically think of Stevie Wonder.
Oh, really?
I do.
Yeah, I can see it.
It's like so funny.
Dionne Warwick coming in. Yeah.
Yeah, right?
That's...
Same.
It's funny because this is on the same album as oh my god, Highway. Oh my god, why am I blinking? Like their most famous song ever.
Oh, not Highway to Hell, child.
No, I know.
I'm trying to think. Oh no, this is. You know why? Because we've been listening to lots of music.
Oh my god.
Child, look it up.
Oh my. Stairway to Heaven.
Thank you.
If you're just listening, that's the sound of Kristen hanging her head in. Wait!
She said it! If you're just joining us, that's the sound of Kristen hanging her head in shame.
In shame. Wow. Sorry. Yeah, I was going Highway to Hell, and I don't know why, because we were not talking about ECTC.
That's why I was like, because I was sitting here thinking, I was like, wait, Highway to Hell, ain't that?
No.
I live, and this is why you get the realest of the real from us.
Yep.
Period.
Let's see. Robert Plant performed the song with Alison Krauss on their 2022 tour. One concert reviewer described Plant's vocal as astonishing, channeling every flood he has seen in his 74 years into the emotional resonance of his voice. And Bonham's drum beat is one of the most widely sampled in popular music. According to Esquire magazine's Miles Raymer, the 2-bar break that opens when the levee breaks is one of the most monumental pieces of rock drumming ever recorded and one of the most widely sampled pieces of music ever, having appeared in songs by everyone from Eminem and Dr. Dre to New Age artists Mike Oldfield and Sophie B. Hawkins.
Wow.
Yep. And it's just one of those songs that I love, emotional ties. That I guess it wouldn't be one of those that has like emotional ties to me or whatever, but other than hearing it when I was younger, but I just love that just nasty dirty rock. I love it. I love it so much.
Does it make you want to run through the rain?
It does.
Does it make you want to get all?
It does, but it makes me want to go and like shore up the levees so that they don't break.
I feel that. Because we don't want that.
That's right.
Dancing in the rain and like rocking out in the rain, yes.
Yeah.
Levees breaking,
Let's not.
No.
But speaking of dancing,
ciao.
Let us get into your pick because.
So when we talked about this category, I was like, you know what? What song would be super dope? And the first thing that came to mind actually was a song by an artist named Teedra Moses, who I absolutely adore. And she has a song called For a Lifetime. Mm-hmm. And literally the whole song is like you can hear rain. Like you can hear rain in the background. And she uses these like sounds with it. But anyways, I don't want to get into it because I'm probably going to use it for something else. But I was sitting there thinking about it. I was like, you know what? I had just watched a TikTok which I don't be watching TikToks or anything like that. I need to get my life together. But like,
I absolutely need to get my life together because I love TikTok and Instagram Reels and all that sort of thing. So
no, listen. So I was watching one, and it was these probably like millennials.
In the basement dancing?
No, they were outside. It started raining, and one of them had went outside to do something and slipped and fell. And I don't know if they were having a bad day or whatever, but you could tell that like instead of getting mad, they just started laughing. Mm-hmm. And then whoever was there at the house with them came out, and they just started playing a song in the car and started to literally dance in the rain. And I was like, oh, we've definitely done that a couple of times. Specifically on the beach. And I was like, what song did we dance in the rain to? What song would I want to dance in the rain to? And I automatically thought of Earth, Wind & Fire's September.
Oh, it's such a good song.
If you saw the reaction video, you saw what happened. I'm not even going to tell you what happened.
Yeah.
We're not even going to tell. You just going to have to go and watch it. I'm just saying.
That's right.
But that's the song that came to mind. Also, as you know, I've talked about it before. Earth, Wind & Fire is a big musical influence to me because that is my dad's favorite band. Mm-hmm. That's what I grew up on listening to, which, side note, again, we should definitely do a theme where it's like, you know, the music you used to listen to in the car, you know, with your parents in the car, or like parents driving music, whatever you want to call it. That should definitely be a theme. But this is what we used to always listen to. And, so I'm going to get into Earth, Wind & Fire. Let me give y'all a scene.
Excited.
Get close and sip. You about to sip.
I really don't know much about them at all.
Really?
So I'm super excited to learn more.
Yes. Well, come on, girl. Stay on down. It's circle time. So Earth, Wind & Fire, also known as EWNF or EWF, is an American band who have spanned the musical genres of jazz, R&B, soul, funk, disco, pop, EDM, Latin, and Afropop.
Well, that's awesome.
They have been described as one of the most innovative and are among the most commercially successful acts in history. They have sales of over 90 million records worldwide. Wow. And they are one of the world's best-selling bands of all time.
That's awesome.
The band was founded in Chicago by Maurice White in 1969, having grown out of a previous band known as the Salty Peppers. I love that name so Salty much. Peppers. That's actually kind of dope. I love
that fucking name. Oh my God, that's amazing.
That's like
the Salty Peppers.
That's like the wet naps on the voice tower.
Yes.
Come on, Salty Peppers.
That's amazing.
Other prominent members of Earth, Wind & Fire have included Philip Bailey, Verdine White, Ralph Johnson, Larry Dunn, Al McKay, Roland Batista, Robert Bookins, Sonny Emery, Fred Ravel, Ronnie Law, Sheldon Reynolds, and Andrew Woolfolk. The band is known for its kalimba sound, and dynamic horn section, energetic and elaborate stage shows, and the contrast between Philip Bailey's falsetto vocals and Maurice White's baritone. Let me tell you something. Philip Bailey's voice, I will never forget this, and this is funny. So we were driving one day, and I, as a kid, the first musical influence that I found on my own was Mariah Carey. Mm-hmm. So I instantly delved myself into all of her music, and I was listening to all her music released up until that point. And we were driving and listening, and Mariah was hitting her whistle tone. And my dad was like, I love my father to death. He was like, who started that, right? Now, keep in mind, you got Minnie Riperton, you got, Betty Wright, one of the greatest soul singers of all time, hitting whistle notes, like all these different people, right? I was like, no, Dad, who? Now, in my mind, I'm like, no, Mariah did. And he was like, oh, have you heard of this song? So he played Earth, Wind & Fire's Keep Your Head to the Sky. And at the very end of the song, Philip Bailey sings Keep Your Head to the Sky, like the chorus and the melody. But he does a harmony, and the harmony is literally all different octaves of a whistle note.
Oh, wow.
And then it's 2 different octaves of a whistle note, and then it's his falsetto voice.
Wow.
And it is unbelievable. And so the contrast, what really set Earth, Wind, and Fire apart from other groups like the Commodores or the Whispers and the Temptations was the fact that their dynamics in their vocals, like, and the contrast between the two was just like unheard of.
Yeah.
So as far as September, the way it was created was using a chord progression written.
Do you remember? I'm sorry.
Right. Do you remember?
I'm sorry. I almost did. I threw it in there.
Do you remember? Do you remember? Oh, that's the wrong song. Right. So you using a chord progression, written by Earth, Wind, and Fire's guitarist Al McKay, vocalist Maurice White, and songwriter Allie Willis wrote the song over 1 month. Willis was initially bothered by the gibberish "Badia" lyric Wright used through the song and begged him to rewrite it. I just said, "What the fuck does "Badia" mean?" And he essentially said, "Who the fuck cares?"
Right.
He said, "I learned my greatest lesson ever in songwriting from him, which was never let the lyric get in the way of the groove." Whoa. That is so dope. So you never let the lyric get in the way of the groove. And then it also says, although several theories have been about the significance of the date, September 21st, have been suggested, the songwriter Maurice White claimed he simply chose the 21st due to how it sounded when he sung it. Mm-hmm. His wife, Marilyn White, however, claimed that September 21st was the due date of their son, Cabran. And this was according to the lyricist Allie Willis, who also co-wrote the song. He also said that he thought it was because that was the due date of their son as well. Mm-hmm. The song also inspired the city of Los Angeles to declare that the 21st of September would, for now on, be considered Earth, Wind, and Fire Day in honor of the band's connections to the city.
That's cool.
And then as far as how it fared on the charts, it was a 1978 hit, which became number 1 on the U.S. R&B chart and reached number 8 on the Billboard Hot 100, which in 1978 was a big deal for any black artists or just persons of color as an artist. And again, it was written by Maurice White, Al McKay, and Allie Willis, and the song was actually produced by Maurice White.
That's awesome. It is such a great song.
It really is. And rest in peace, Maurice White. He passed away, I feel like within the last decade.
Oh, really?
I feel like, but I could be wrong.
It's funny. The other day, I forget what happened, but one of my roommates was just having a bad day and just was super anxious or whatever. And so I'm like, hold up.
Right.
Hold up.
Right.
Because I know we had done that the other day, and I was like, oh, and so I played it, and we all just danced a bit, and everything was good. It's such a good calm down song, and yeah, it was just nice.
So, segue right on into.
Okay, all right, we're segueing right on in.
Say what?
Say what?
Say what? This is a section of the show where we talk about anything and everything.
Mm-hmm. And I almost never know what's coming.
And I live for it. And that's how you know it's real and authentic, because you never know what's about to happen. So we're going to change the situation because as we are recording this, we have learned that the Queen has passed away. Mm-hmm. So my question, I guess, to you and to everybody that's listening is, what were, your feelings when you heard about it? Mm-hmm. And the reason I bring it up is because there are obviously so many different feelings and reactions to when anybody passes away, never mind somebody that's a public figure. Yeah. And I was having this conversation with one of my clients, and we were talking about how some people find it distasteful about some of the reactions to her passing. Mm-hmm. And it brought up the question, kind of like, what is the appropriate and if there is an appropriate way to feel about a public figure passing away, number one. And number two, is it wrong for people to voice their feelings, if they're ill feelings or whatever, of the dead? Mm-hmm. Because that was one of the main things, was like, oh, you know, you don't speak ill of the dead, especially in Black households and anybody that grew up of a person of color. Like, that's just one of the things that you never talk bad about the dead or whatever. But, you know, we're in different times. And so many people are voicing their opinions. So one, is there a certain way you're supposed to feel because they're a public figure, or is there like things you should say and shouldn't say? And also, two, how do you feel about it? I don't know if you've seen some of the things that have been written, you know what I mean? I just kind of, you know.
Yeah, so.
And what do you know about the Queen too? Because I don't know.
Not a ton or anything, either, right. But I know kind of the basic gist of, you know, history. And she is not on the right side of it a lot of times. But is there a certain way you're supposed to feel about a public figure? Absolutely not. No, because public figures can be famous or infamous for all sorts of reasons. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I think it actually makes it more complicated when they're a public figure. So it's things, you know, so you kind of grow up thinking like, oh, the monarchy, it's beautiful, and the beautiful crown and the beautiful dresses, and you see like the videos. And don't get me wrong, I watched Meghan and Harry's wedding, and you know what I mean, like that kind of like spectacle and everything like that. But then there's this whole other side to it of like, you know, it's like taxpayers' money going to them to support this huge lifestyle, like. We don't have 3 hours to get into like the colonialism of it all, and the fact that
you said it,
and the slave trade paid for most of their shit. Did Elizabeth herself?
Wait, hold on.
Okay.
I had to get a sip in, but go ahead, girl.
Did Elizabeth herself enslave anybody? Not that I know, you know what I mean? But all of her power, all of her wealth, all of everything was built on the backs of all of that. Now, you know, hypocritical of a white woman to say this, absolutely. Do you know what I mean? Like it's one of those things. But I think it's a conversation that needs to be had. I mean, there are so many things like, you know, I when I went to London, we went to like the British Museum, and in there, they literally stole all these things from Greece and Italy, you know, when that was part of, you know, after the wars and things like that. And now it's in this museum in London when it should be like on the Acropolis. Or it should be
where it's rightfully.
Exactly, yeah. Or the diamond, what is it, the core diamond, I believe, the one that's in like the big crown, was stolen from a 10-year-old Indian king, Indian like Raja. Yeah. Yep. And they've asked for it back repeatedly. I know that there's a thing out there again now to
I didn't know
back.
that.
Yeah, I mean you know, and this is true of so many nations. I'm not trying to single out like
but we're talking about the Queen.
Yeah,
I mean, but we're not talking about
you know, it's tough to separate the you know, the woman and everything that kind of like the monarchy stands for. And you know what? I have no problems with people having symbols, like having a queen, a king, whatever. If you want to do that, that's great, fine. But they should not, it should not be how it is. You know what I mean? Their every little whim shouldn't be supported by the taxpayers, I guess. You know what I mean? I think there's got to be something. And I understand, obviously, they have like a democracy. You know, it's not them who run the country necessarily. You know what I mean? But even as like that figurehead, even as like just the sheer amount of money that goes into it, that could just be, you know, there's so much other stuff in the world to fix.
I feel that. I do. And it's, I'm gonna be completely honest. I don't know a lot about the Queen. I definitely just naturally, as somebody who doesn't know, I just threw the news on, and it was right when they were announcing that she had passed, and I just saw how many people were upset. I saw like the sadness, so I was like, okay, like I don't know a lot about the Queen, but that's horrible. You know what I mean? Like but it's like, she was 96. She lived a long life, and but then me as a Black person, I was scrolling on social media and I saw Black Twitter and Black Instagram and, POC Instagram and POC, Twitter and Facebook, not that it really needs to be separated, but just a just the community, okay, as that's the community that this generation has given them, the name or whatever. So Black Twitter, which I guess stands for like all social media, was not having it. And again, it made me as, a Black man, like, I was like, okay, I need to step my shit up and actually go read about why people feel this way. And one of the big things that came up was all about the slave trade and a lot of how the monarchy acquired a lot of the stuff that makes them the monarchy and all that. And I'm like, listen, when I started like getting into that, I was like, whoa.
Now, I think like her as a woman, she was an incredibly strong woman.
Yes.
She had to.
There were
so many things that happened in her life that were incredibly hard. I mean, and you know what I mean? So like, it's because I can't imagine also being that public figure. Can you imagine being that well known around the world? Like, your face is on money, you know what I mean? Like, it's just crazy. So I'm not trying to take away that. And like, I think it was Will and Harry who came out with a statement that said basically like, that was our Nan,
That's how I'm looking at it.
That level.
That's how I'm looking at it.
I'm sad about it.
I'm choosing to look at it from that level because I can't look at it from any other level. And it's not because like, I just look at it as like, okay, these kids done lost their grandma. Right. That's how I'm looking at it. These other kids lost their great grandma. Do you know what I mean? Like, that's how I'm looking at it because.
And absolutely, for sure. But I think this is a moment where we can say, okay, she reigned for 70 years, and it's now a point where we can take a look and say, hey, is this something that should continue maybe?
Right.
Should we start thinking about all these things that are issues?
Right. Or okay,
and Charles, he's a dick. He's a dick. There are so many videos of him like because they would go on these like Commonwealth tours and things like that, and there are videos of him like making fun of like the local people who are showing them their customs and things like that. He's a dick. He should not be king. Anyway. Right. But anyway, that's a totally yeah. Anyway.
Right. But it's just a simple idea that. I feel like I'm choosing to look at it from the point of view of, somebody lost their grandma, somebody lost their family member.
Absolutely.
But outside of that,
the institution shouldn't continue. We can be sad that a person lost their life without being upset about, you know what I mean?
About their actions or their participation.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because for me, just as a Black person, like, I just can't fly with it. But
yeah.
Well, but which and you know what I mean? And I know that you can't either.
Well,
I just
mean, yeah.
No, I know. But I'm just saying, like, and I get where everybody's coming from, but I also am on the same page as you when it comes to it's just that's someone's grandma. And that's literally how I felt. Like, and that's when we were watching the news and I was like, damn.
I have to say, most of what I've seen that's been negative hasn't been necessarily directed towards her as a person. It's been more about like the monarchy, the institution of it. Do you know what I mean?
I've seen a mix of both.
Yeah, that's true. I have seen some.
I've seen more, but it's also like, and this is why I'm like, it kind of segues into the conversation about like when it's not like laughing inappropriately. Yeah. And
I know I saw.
Listen, Black Twitter ain't got no sort of, we ain't holding back. Like, the things I done seen, talk about Princess Diana waiting at the gates of heaven for the queen. I said, let her go. Let her hair go. Let her hair go. I was like, that is not funny, but I can't help but laugh. They are dragging the queen. And for me, it's like, don't drag somebody's grandma. But at the same time, I mean, you reap what you sow, girl. Like, it's weird. I'm like, oh, because it's just like innate in me, the way I was raised. Like, oh, you don't drag nobody's grandma. But at the same time, the way I was raised was like, yeah, all right, what's up?
Because it isn't even just stuff that
hello.
It isn't even just stuff that happened 100 years ago. Right. Look at how Meghan Markle was treated.
Boom! Boom! That's why I'm like, we just gonna forget about that.
And the fact that they didn't want to protect Archie because he's what, a quarter black, whatever. Yeah.
And that wasn't through whose decision was that?
So they did name their daughter after her, so I don't know if it was her particular. I don't know.
We don't know. We don't. But I'm like, you the queen, girl.
Right.
You the queen.
She's still happy.
Right.
Is the end of the, yeah.
And it's like, but that's my thing is you're the queen.
Yeah.
Like, you are the top of the top. Mm-hmm. The tippity top of the top.
And as far as I know, she seemed to be completely with it and on top of things.
And lucid. I mean, she just did the transfer of the prime ministers.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, It's crazy. I think at the end of the day, rest in peace to Queen Elizabeth, the grandmother. Mm-hmm. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, she was somebody's family member.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, she was, at the end of the day, she was somebody's mother, somebody's grandmother, somebody's great, whatever the case may be. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
As to the rest of it, get out of here.
And on that note, how did y'all, what songs would y'all pick for Dancing in the Rain?
I know.
You know what I'm saying? What songs would you know what I'm saying, dance to? And let us know how you felt. Yeah. How'd you feel? What'd you feel? Or what were you thinking when you heard the news? And do you find yourself in tough situations or, situations like that where, you try not to laugh or make jokes about it, but you know what I'm saying?
I'm not even sure how to feel kind of
right.
stuff.
But then it's like somebody does something and it's like, oh shit.
That is really funny.
I'm trying to.
It's really funny. Like, objectively very funny. Yeah. No, I'm with you.
How do you handle that?
Yeah, I don't know, but yeah.
But thank you for being with us as always.
Thank you guys so
and
much.
We love you guys' support and thank you so much.
We'll see you guys next time.